Forget the bills, things that they're slated they have to pay off in the future. All that's on the budget. They put all the losses, all the expenses on budget, and then tell you about the budget, and never talk about the comprehensive annual financial reports and what their actual cash gross annual receipts are from turnpikes and sales taxes and fines and fees and regulatory payments and all of this, and port authorities. The list goes on and on. Walter Burien was at the highest levels, running a large company in the World Trade Center, doing all of this stuff 10 years ago when he found out about it. When he found out, he's going to tell you the story. And I didn't believe Walter Burien 2 years ago when I found out about this. He's on the air saying, Texas in 98, let's use your state, Alex. He goes, I'm on the computer right now on the government's own websites. You can all check it out for yourself. Was $435 billion. And I'm like, Walter, that's not true. So what happens? Max, who's in the control room right now, goes down. Where'd you go? The state attorney general's office? And he gets the 98 comprehensive annual financial report. This is the 99. And there it is on page 6, 435, the comptroller's office, $435 billion surplus. And we're reading in the newspaper every single day. We're seeing it in the paper every day that there was a $6.9 billion surplus, and there was a big fight over if we were going to get any of it back, and we got $2 billion back. So we got $2 billion back. They told us it was $6.9 billion surplus when it was really $435 billion. The city of Manhattan, ladies and gentlemen, in 1989, with their own numbers, and I've seen them, had $1.2 trillion in cream surplus off the top. Not the stuff that had to stay in investments, not the paying for the schools or the buildings or leases or fines or fees or new equipment or paying employees. That's all in a little bitty budget over here. Tens of billions of dollars for Manhattan. But trillions of just cream. No wonder the cops are wearing black ski masks. No wonder there's armored personnel carriers driving around. No wonder they're building prisons everywhere. We're basically their slaves, ladies and gentlemen. Trying to inform people. We're talking about the biggest game in town with the man that did the equivalent of proving the world was round, like Galileo. It's something so huge, so monolithic, documented by the states, by the counties, by the cities, but no one in the press, no one in the media will talk about it. Governments are running gigantic surpluses. They're buying up everything, most of the industries. We already used the example of Xerox and Ford. It's a total takeover. They're building their own little empires. I give you Walter Burien, and now a lot of folks are out there copying his work, and that's great. Former guy that did all the accounting for the Air Force and their investigations in accounting is now out there calling himself Capperman, Capperman.com. A lot of folks are coming forward on this, but this is the person that did it. And he did 2 hours with me on the radio today, and now he's joining us again for this Access television show. And I appreciate Walter Burien doing this. This is the only place you'll see this type of information, ladies and gentlemen. Walter, good to talk to you.
Good evening, Alex.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Joining us from your home out in Arizona. I want you to take a couple minutes out and just tell folks about Walter Burien, how Walter Burien found out about the biggest game in town, and who really runs this planet, and then later solutions to stop it. It's pretty exciting stuff.
All right, going back about 10 years ago, I stumbled across the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report. I was a commodity trading advisor, one of the first tenants of the World Trade Center back in 1978. Did a national news line coast to coast on commodities. Back in 1990, there was a governor who got elected by the name of Jim Florio in New Jersey. And he got elected on a no new tax platform. As soon as he got into office, $2.8 billion tax increase, the largest in the state's history. Well, the public was not pleased. And one of the local radio stations, 101.5 FM, two DJs, John and Ken, started doing rabble-rousing, taking calls from listeners on examples of waste and misspending. I was listening on the first 2 days, I heard people calling in on examples of 5,000, 15,000. The highest figure I heard was 85,000. And I pulled out the budget report and looked at the billions of dollars that the state was dealing with, called into the radio program, and I said, come on, guys, you're missing the whole point. The state is dealing with billions of dollars. If there's fraud, waste, and misspending taking place, it's taking place on the tunes of tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars.
And that was using the budget, where they try to give us tunnel vision to just look at the budget. That's what brought you into the comprehensive annual financial report. You started doing a little bit of your own rabble-rousing when John and Ken challenged you, didn't they?
Correct. They challenged us to start an organization to repeal the tax increase. 10 of us got together. I incorporated a group called Hands Across New Jersey. With the help of John and Ken, rabble-rousing 24 hours a day around the clock, we had our first rally down in Trenton, New Jersey. People converged from all the shore points in New Jersey. We had caravans heading to Trenton. 115,000 people converged on Trenton and shut the city down. But in the interim, I said I better start looking at the revenue, budget, and finance. Being that I was a commodity trading advisor, large numbers did not bother me. $1 in a billion, that's just a number. And I started looking at the budget report, and I noticed that all of the cash cow generators of state government, New Jersey Turnpike, Garden State Parkway, Port Authority of New York, New Jersey, no revenue shown on the budget report. I didn't see any large return from investment funds on the budget report. And I said, they have to have a two-tier accounting structure here because I'm not seeing the complete picture. Now, the director of the budget, his name was Richard Keevy. He was on vacation until the following Tuesday of that week. I called his lower assistant, and the conversation went just like this. Hi, this is Walter Burey, and I'm working on a report for Richard. I have to have it done by Tuesday when he gets back from vacation. I need all the figures on the autonomous agency accounts, interest accounts, investment accounts. And he goes, oh, you want the comprehensive annual financial report. Bing, first time I heard that before. He goes, yeah, can you send me a copy? He goes, well, I don't know. You better speak to Mark, the next one down from Richard. I called Mark up. Hi, Mark, this is Walter Burey, and I just spoke to Jim. I'm working on a report for Richard. I have to have it done by Tuesday. When he gets back, I need the comprehensive annual financial report sent to me right away. Got it that Friday. Being a bottom-line type person, I wanted to see what the totals were. Now, on liquid assets, investment assets for the state, in the comprehensive annual financial report, it was standing at about $188 billion. Now I start looking for the total cash gross receipts, the number one question IRS asked in an audit. Found it on page 174 under cash additions, all agencies, all departments, all sources. Here's a state with a declared service budget of $17 billion that was bringing in $86,799 million in cash for the year. I learned the definition of syndicated organized crime right there on the spot, and the principle of operation. The principle of operation was anything that was a cost and an expense, they left under the budgetary basis, and the public footed 100% of the bill for 100% of the services. Anything that was a profit center had the ability of being a profit center, large investment fund that generated substantial revenue, totally restricted by statute for no tie or inclusion whatsoever with a budgetary basis. And in New Jersey's case, they were bringing in $69 billion a year over what they were bringing in on the budgetary basis through taxation, fines, and fees.
And for the lay person out there, boil that down for them. The difference between the budget and the real set of books, the comprehensive annual financial reports.
Well, up until this point, and making this discovery, I always heard budget report, budget report, budget. We have a shortfall of budgetary revenue. We have to increase taxes. Our budget is, for the school, for the police. We have to increase taxes. And the budget report is strictly the annual operating costs for that year. What they're bringing in, what they're supposed to be spending. It does not mention the total investments. It doesn't mention the total income, and it doesn't mention the total net worth. Just as yourself, Alex, if you're making $100,000 a year and your budget for operating your house was $30,000 a year, you could audit your $30,000 budget 100 times over, account for every nickel, dime, and penny. If you spent $29,000 this year on your budget, you'd have a $1,000 surplus.